This podcast is brought to you by Lunio X, a modern communications holding company housing advertising agencies and production companies.
Welcome to the Disrupted Journals podcast. Today, I'm just going to be sharing something that I've been thinking about sharing for a while now. So this is going to be a very, very short episode. But the title of today's episode is Why Your Startup Idea is Worthless. Now, before you turn off this episode thinking that I'm going to discourage you from starting a business, let me assure you that that's not the case. In fact, I believe that entrepreneurship is a valuable and rewarding pursuit. However, it is important to understand that the idea itself is not what makes a startup successful. In fact, many successful startups started with an idea that was seemingly unoriginal or even worthless. So, why is the idea itself worthless? First, ideas are easy. Anyone can have an idea. The real value comes from the execution of that idea. It's the hard work, persistence, and determination that go into turning an idea into a successful business. The second thing, ideas are constantly evolving. What may seem like a revolutionary idea today could be outdated tomorrow. That's why it's important to stay adaptable and be willing to pivot and evolve your idea as the market changes. So if you have an idea for a startup, that's great, but don't get too attached to it. It is probably not the billion-dollar idea you think it is. Instead, focus on the execution and be willing to adapt and evolve as needed. And that concludes today's episode on why your startup idea is worthless. Remember, it's the execution and adaptability that truly matters in the success of our startups. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you again in the next episode of the Disrupted Journals.